and its master champion Hans Stuck in the Audi V8. And now Berlin, at a time as never before. The fifth and sixth races of the championships take place on the legendary Avis. And like the Nürburgring, the Avis too offers its very own image of the racing sport, when the swarm of hornets inhales the long straight. The series of the German Saloon Car Championships consists of 11 racing days, each with 2 races. And because some lively variations are provided between permanent race courses, aerodrome races, and urban courses, some very varied demands are made on cars and drivers. One really ought to be a specialist. Best of all, a specialist in everything. All this is new ground for the young Audi team, who received a most cheerful welcome from the spectators, whose numbers are breaking all records in this year of top teams. Even during the opening races at Soldar and Hockenheim, Audi had cut a good figure, and now they're getting down to brass tacks. After Audi's double victories in Berlin and Wunstorf, there is great excitement about, and the greatest joy for one particular sportsman who is well known not only for his victories, but also for the way in which he knows how to celebrate them. None other than Hans-Joachim Stuck wins as happily as he does. But is it possible that after a career spanning 2 decades of victories from Daytona to Le Mans, winning can still be such fun?
Oh, of course, because it's the sum total of consistency, strategy, and diligence. And if I didn't have such a lot of fun and motivation, I just wouldn't be racing. And as much pleasure as I get out of it, I can become very angry at times. And if I don't have all the pleasure, the motivation, and joy anymore, then I'd rather stay at home.
Almost home. This is Nuremberg. "90,000 spectators, the record of the year, follow the call to the Bavarian Grand Prix on the Norris Ring. Amongst them, 3,000 enthusiastic Audi employees. Until now, Stuck was the only one to collect Audi points. And in the meantime, a congenial partner had concentrated in the background on development work. Now, Walter Röhrl, the immensely popular former Rally World Champion, enters the action. This will make the Audi appearances at the championship even more attractive. And the two old friends who get along so well, notwithstanding their different nature, enhance the image of a racing series with all the refinements of teamwork that needs no sophisticated prior consultations or maneuvers, but which evolves as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Röhrl basically sees his role in the championship as that of a faithful lieutenant for Stuck with his superb lead on points. The rivals react to the new front that resulted from Audi's strong performances. BMW has engaged the previous year's DTM champion, the Italian Robert Ravaglia, who promptly won one of the 2 Norris Ring races. The other was carried off by Hans Stuck, who thus quite sensationally takes over the championship lead. However, the consequence of this victory and of the championship lead is a weight handicap, awarded to Audi by the sporting authorities. Stuck comments, "It's as if they put a giant cauldron of hot sausages in the car." This way of balancing superiority by waiting is an American custom, so as to keep up the suspense of the racing series throughout the year. Meanwhile, it has also become part of the rules of the game of the German Saloon Car Championships, and every team affected by them must learn to live with them. For the leading teams, this means the beginning of a new development phase, a dialogue between technicians and practitioners. Once again, Audi Sport goes through the subtle phases of exploring outer limits in search for better performance, optimum handling, and a new harmony in a car which weighs 80 kilograms more than it would normally. These are the lean weeks of this summer. Only one single point in 4 races. Walter Rühl's victory on the Nürburgring Ring can be seen at any rate as a turning point in the trend, and as far as the figures go, a symbol for a still existing chance of an overall victory. And this decision, the highlight and finale of the racing series, will be made on the Hockenheim Ring. For this quite extraordinary occasion, which gets 70,000 fans on their feet, each team will regroup once again, engaging guest drivers in order to apply more effectively any stable strategy. 4 drivers, 3 makes, make the journey with the chance of the championship title. Apart from Stuck and Rühl, Audi has engaged Frank Jelinski as a reinforcement. They make the match. Hans-Joachim Stuck, the leader, Johnny Cecotto in a BMW, Kurt Thiem in a Mercedes, and Steve Soper in a BMW. And so we immerse ourselves into thrilling tension, which a happy production managed to reserve for the very last racing day of a long and exciting series. The fabulous crowd of spectators is part of this atmosphere, which could nowhere reach greater heights than at the Hockenheim Motordrome. Once again, the clash of BMW, Mercedes, Opel and Audi with the best drivers they could get. Once again, the polarization on a technical level too. The quattro 4-wheel concept against the conventional drives. It is good to know that the man who fights out there with the team for the championship is called Hans Stuck. And it is a cheering thought to know that there is a Walter Rühl as a backup, as well as the tremendously strong driver, Jelinski. And so a day emerges, which those 70,000 people at the Hockenheim Ring will not forget in a hurry, least of all us. And in the end, we get the most spectacular result one could possibly conceive. Audi runs in both races with its 3 cars in positions 1, 2, 3. Each time, Stuck as the winner, flanked by his friends. The Motordrome goes wild with excitement. Audi V8, the German champion. What an outsider tip for the start of the championship. Audi V8 stands for the car they did not manage to leave behind. quattro, again and again, stands for the victory of an idea. And Hans Stock is our champion.